still I'm coming home real soon. My mind is running, always thinking about going back to Cali.
I'm here with Austin Bush of UCSB Baseball. I read that you're 6'6" and 270 pounds, but I didn't realize how big that was until sitting here face to face. Can we compare? Can you tell me about the opening ceremony of the College World Series? What was the crowd like and the atmosphere of the whole thing?
Opening ceremonies were unreal. We got to parade through the streets of Omaha, and there was a bunch of fans for the Gauchos, I think. I mean, I guess locally we were well liked just because we were the underdogs, and it was pretty surreal, and it was a great moment to be a part of.
Did you have any expectations heading into the regionals about how your team was going to do?
Yeah, going into the regionals, we were definitely I think we played with a chip on our shoulder the whole year, and so going into regionals, we weren't really worried about who our opponents were or really who we were going to be playing. We kind of just, played baseball, played Gaucho baseball, and just really took our game to them, I think.
Can you tell me about the role that Coach Checkett played and your relationship with the other coaches?
The coaches did a great job of bringing in a bunch of guys after we lost 10 to the draft, and so I think that kind of set the stage for us going into the year. Even this year we have a really great recruiting class, so I think they're doing a great job of bringing the guys in, and then as a team we do a good job of just getting everyone together, getting everyone behind our mentality.
After you beat Louisville in such a dramatic fashion, you were all dogpiling, celebrating around home plate. What were you feeling when you realized that you were going to the College World Series?
Right before Sam hit that home run, actually, I was at the end of the dugout with Clay, and we were talking about it. Bases were loaded, and we're like, how cool would it be, a walk-off home run to go to Omaha here, upset one of the biggest teams in the nation. And him and I were just kind of jokingly laughing about it, and he's like, no, man, this is it, like, this is going to happen. And I think it was maybe a pitch or two later that Sam swings the bat, and I kind of just look over at the ball like, oh no, like this might be it. He might be right. And then I remember looking back at Clay, and he was just in shock. He threw his hat up because we knew like we were going to Omaha. And then running to home plate, I still don't think it had hit us. We were kind of like, oh, we just won the game. But then seeing Sam come home and having that dog pile and jumping on top of him and everyone yelling and screaming, we're going to Omaha, we're going to Omaha. And I think that's when it kind of hit me, and I was like, wow, we did it. And I remember the Gaucho fans kind of cheering and everyone was going crazy, but there was more of not a silence in the stadium, but just kind of a weird mood about it, just that what just happened. I think everyone was in shock. I remember Birdie was walking off the field kind of head down, because this is definitely his last year being there, and it was just surreal, I think.
In Checkett's first year here, he took the team to the regionals in Oregon. And as recent as 2 years ago, we hosted our first regionals in school history. To continue that progression, the Gauchos needed someone to set the stage, and you did that in a big way against Washington. Can you tell us about that?
So my freshman year, we actually hosted our first regional in school history, and that didn't turn out as well as we would have liked. We didn't play it here. We played down south somewhere, and didn't win that one. So going into this regional, I think a lot of the guys were going in there with that chip on the shoulder that I had talked about. And, we were just looking to maybe get started with a win and really go in and take ownership of that regional. And in the 14th inning, that's what happened. I mean, Devon in the 12th hits that home run to tie it up for us, and give us that shot to keep playing. And then, I just hadn't had good at-bats all day, but then going into that inning, just wanted to put a good swing on the ball, and ended up doing that, and it worked out well for us. And I think the team as a whole realized that, and we kind of took that win and that momentum and ran with it the rest of regionals, super regionals, and even in Omaha a little bit.
Watching the video of that play still gives me chills. Before the ball even left the infield, you already turned around to celebrate with your teammates.
I got in the box at a bat, just looking for a good pitch to drive, and then ended up going down 0-1. I think I missed a fastball right before that, and I was like, oh, like that was my cookie. Didn't want to miss that. But then got another pitch. The next pitch was the one I ended up hitting, and once I hit it and finished my follow-through, I just knew. There's something when you hit a home run sometimes you kind of just know, and it was one of those where I was like, I got all of that ball, and I really just wanted to celebrate with my team because the game was 14 innings long. You know, it was a back and forth chess match between us. It was raining, it was cold, and so I hit that ball, and immediately my first thought or reaction was to look back at my boys in the dugout and want to be with them and celebrating with them because how big of a grind that game was and how big that game was for us moving forward. So I think that's where that raw emotion comes in for me, just hitting it, turning back, celebrating with them, and then going around the bases and then hitting third. I get to actually celebrate with them, and that was unbelievable, you know, hopping down the line, just waiting to get to touch home and really just yell and go crazy with my team just because of how big that was. I thought it was an unreal moment.
How did it feel to be named tournament MVP of the regionals?
It was something super special to me. I mean, you know, all the guys in the team put in all the work for us to win that regional. And so for that was kind of the icing on the cake. And we kind of just took that and the wins we had and how good we did in that regional and ran with that momentum in the super regional and in Omaha. And so, I mean, the MVP, it's a cool title to have, but I mean, you got to look at what the team did and how everyone came together in those moments. Really stepped up when we needed people to step up, and I thought that was something special.
Gaucho fans traveled really well and came out to support the team through the whole series. Can you tell me about your interactions with those fans?
Yeah, so we had a bunch of support going into regionals and super regionals. A lot of families came out, flew across country to come watch us play. You know, especially being in Omaha, it was cool to see all the support that we did get and that we had there in the regionals and super regionals even. I remember meeting a family that they told me, hey, can you sign this ball? They tossed it down to me, and I was like, yeah, sure. They're like, yeah, we don't know affiliate with UCSB, or we never even heard of you guys, but we heard you're coming to Omaha and we wanted to cheer you guys on. And they had a bunch of Gaucho gear on and like cowboy hat with like a Gaucho on it, and it seemed like it was custom made. And I thought that was pretty special and cool to see that people were backing us and supporting us and this team from Isla Vista, Santa Barbara. You know, it was cool.
As a veteran of the team, where do you see the team headed this season?
I think the team is going to have a lot of success, hopefully more than last year's team. We have a bunch of great guys coming back. We have Clay and Nelly, who played for Team USA this past summer, which was something special and cool to see for them to do for our program. And of the new guys that we got in, a lot of them are really focused and determined and ready to prove themselves to us. And I think that coming together with the old team is going to make for maybe even a better team than we did have last year. I'm really excited to see the potential of the team that we do have.